How's it going, guys? We got another dungeon guide for you. That's right, I was such a bonehead. My last dungeon guide for Black Fathom Depths came out on the last day. I apologize for that. I didn't realize it was the last day because I've just been so busy with global launch coming. But Dire Maul is here, and it is for the Horde. That's right, it's Horde week, guys. So I'm going to be sharing with you an army that I use for literally every single leader. We're going to be showing gameplay footage for Sneed because, in my opinion, Sneed is the leader that you should be focusing on for Horde. He is by far the best for PvE, and your PvE push is going to help snowball your roster. Getting all that gold from the heroic campaigns or just from completing the regular campaign is very important, and Sneed is by far the best at pushing PvE, as you'll see in the gameplay footage. Let's go get into it. All right, but I also am going to do a little talk about the other two leaders. So starting with Karen, for him, I like Plains Running. This is going to be counterintuitive to probably every single other content creator who might have talked about this guy to you peoples. Plain Running, making him move faster and gain the fast trait, is so powerful in PvE. I love Plains Running. I can't imagine using the Revive trait except in PvP. Because he has such a big hitbox, and because we're pairing him with the Warsong Raider, if we drop the Tauren Stonehoof in front of those guys, they will push the Tauren, and he basically becomes a fast unit too. And then we just have this trifecta of death rolling through all the stages, as you will see in this little snippet here. But let me talk about the rest of our army. So we do have the Warsong Raider with Sunder Armor that's going to be damaging an armored enemy, removes their armor, just you truck through enemies when you have that. Momentum on the Tauren, so after connecting a charge, immediately charge a second time if possible. This is going to really help us on the boss node, as you'll see in the gameplay, reaching that pesky shaman that is doing so much healing. Gnomish Cloaking Device, you can either use this or Coming in Hot. I believe in the gameplay footage I'm using Coming in Hot. They're both pretty much equal. I think I just switched to Coming in Hot because I like speed. Going fast is best, but the reason I want to show you guys Gnomish Cloaking Device is because you're probably a newer player and you don't want to be trying to bank on two talents. This talent will be the better one for all other PvE content. Then we got Tunnel Vision on our Quill board. We just love using him to position our enemies. Rocket-powered Turbo Boots on our Sappers. That's right, we're going to use the Sappers. They're super impactful in this dungeon because there's so many objectives for them to explode on and the bosses. But if you don't have the Rocket-powered Turbo Boots, don't use this unit. Too slow, is going to get picked off. It's just not worth it without this talent. And then we got the Flame Burst Whelplings. Now let's go on over and talk about Grommash Hellscream. Now, I really like the mirror image on Grommash. It just makes two units pop up beside him. They're fragile, but boy, do they truck your enemies. So it's a really nice talent to be using. And we are pairing it with the exact same army that we just had. We'll talk about replacements for the Goblin when we get to Sneed. So what's the benefit here? So if Karen is pushing that Tauren, Grommash is just giving them a steroid. So instead of pushing them, getting them there sooner, he will just kind of walk up with the Tauren, the Warsong Raider. You're probably going to want to send a little bit afterwards, and then she'll meet them there. He's going to give Bloodlust to all allies nearby, and if they happen to reach any objective or any boss and they get that Bloodlust, they will just chew through the enemy. We have that trifecta that we always like to use, the Whelps, the Safe Pilot, the Quillbore, and again, that Goblin Sapper. And then finally, Sneed, Army and Talents. So Sneed is all about gold, which is why we're going to use Lead with Greed. We could also use the Mining trait. I'm not super fan of that, though. I like getting the 2 additional gold for every single chest that we happen to steal, every single tower we take, every single summoning stone. I think that is much more impactful. You end up kind of getting 2, 3 Warsong Raiders and Taurens on the field at the same time, or you do back-to-back unbound death runs on the boss, so that's also important. I'm not going to go through all the talents again. What Sneed brings to this army is you just get to summon more of them. So what if you don't have the rocket-powered turbo boots for the Goblin Sappers? You could try and use them. It'll take a little bit more finesse to get that done. Otherwise, take in a nice fast unit, whether that be Harpies. You could throw in chickens here. They wouldn't be that bad. What's another fast unit? Oh, the Huntress would be really good here. Another ranged unit that's just going to do a lot of cleaving. That'll be very important on that first node. As we're going to talk about in the gameplay, so much fun happening in this dungeon. Speaking of the gameplay, let's go check out the gameplay. I'm going to break down every single map, talk about the general strategy. You don't have to use this army. This is just the army that I would recommend for an easy climb to push your Horde armies as fast as possible. If you enjoy the content, again, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I read everything, and if you end it with a question mark, I will answer you. Enjoy. All right, so let's tackle one of these dungeons real quick. I got one final level to do on Sneed, so let's see what we get as far as relics go on Death Minis Grant Bloodlust. That was not actually that bad. After playing your leader, the next Horde mini you play costs 1 less. I don't hate that one either. Your leader heals 10% health every 5 seconds. That's probably the weakest. So Howling Warband will be really good on the last stage. Horde minis cost you 1 less. If we end up getting the other one, that makes all your tanks cost 1 less. We have a very heavy tank army here. We'd be spamming units, which would be very cool. Let's go with the Relentless Instruction. I think both of those are pretty even here, actually. And just like we did in the Black Fathom Depths, let's look at the map first and talk about just the general strategy on how to tackle it. Because obviously, we're doing the hardest difficulty of the dungeon right now, showcasing what Sneed is capable of. But a lot of people are going to be just new players right now, probably don't have too many talents, let alone the best talents on those Unbound minis we did the video on. That's the Quail Boar, the Safe Pilot, and the Whelplings that are so instrumental in taking down this dungeon. But even more so, that second stage is not very conductive to those Unbound characters. So there's a lot going on here, but I did this without having any talents for the first, I believe it was about 10 or 11 dungeon levels when it first came out. So it's definitely doable. Dire Maul isn't that difficult. In fact, this level is quite easy. So I didn't show what the boss does, but his troops will brawl against friend or foe at 70% health. So if you can knock them down to 70% health, they just go on a rampage and they'll take each other out. So we have a 2-lane map here. We got the left side. We can see we got some incoming enemies. And the right side, same thing. Some 2 range and then a tank. We got 2 towers. We have 2 gold chests and 2 gold nodes. So it's kind of a mirror on both sides. But the left side is clearly more valuable because it's going to get us closer to the boss. The boss is going to basically spam summon these ogre mages, which is very difficult to deal with, and he'll do a whirlwind. So our strategy here with all of the Horde leaders is to control both sides. We want all the gold. We need all the gold to eat all the AoE damage that happens up on the boss and still prevail. So let's go ahead and get this one done. Like I said, this stage is probably the easier of the 3, simply because when they take damage, they just start beating each other up. And we'll see if BlueStacks is going to make it hard. Yeah, see, I tried to summon the Safe Pilot there. It didn't want to happen. All right, let's go take care of that tower. Tower is ours. We gave the bear the gold. I don't quite care. Let's take that bear out. And then let's try and take this Orc Mage out. You see the Bloodlust is a big problem. We see he's now at 70%, so he'll actually attack his friends as well. Let's go ahead and do a couple damage here. Make them turn on each other again. The Safe Pilot is great for this stage because it'll just make them turn on each other. 1 hit, they're already down to 70. They turn on each other, and it's just good time gaming for us. So the reason we really like our Sappers here is because they're just free gold in 2 of these maps. Well, I guess not free gold if they get clapped out like that. But normally they're free gold. Oh wow, those Whelplings just saved the day. Alright, we do have a Huntress to deal with here. Let's go ahead and summon to stall her out. Hopefully we get her to 70%. She'll turn on her friends. And you can see we still have 2 minutes left, heading into the boss stage now. So we're feeling pretty good about this. These Ogre Mages are going to turn on each other. And now it's our job just to make sure we are priority in the chest. Especially with Sneed, it just becomes a surreal amount of damage. Let's make sure we're taking the enemies at the same time. Look, the Huntress, because she drops below a certain percent of life, she will just spam kill her own tower. It's actually kind of funny. Let's take her out and recapture that tower really quickly, and then we'll immediately die to a Huntress, but maybe we'll get a hit off. No, we did not. That's okay. Let's get this chest. And then let's work our way down here. Let's get actual domination on this side. Drop her and hit the tower. Oh, she's already hitting the tower. That's too funny. So you can see this, like, enrage mechanic is quite good for us, actually. We can see we turned the Ogre Mage against the leader. We haven't quite done enough to my liking. Alright, let's start doing some damage to the boss. We'll throw the sappers in. Watch this damage, by the way. Bam, bam. So that was 2 hits. That was some pretty decent damage. Sneed will get 4 gold here, and then we can start our actual offensive push. Let's get that gold. Let's get in there. Let's take this group out. Hit some more sappers. Throw the safety pilot in there. Let's try and get control over that mage. Yeah, see, the mage is already turned on the boss. This stage is a funny one. It is a slobber knocker of a fight. We would still have a minute after this ends just to basically spam summon unbound units on this boss. So this one is in the bag. In fact, let's end it with style, the safe pilot. Coming in hot. I got that instead of the cloaking device on for this, just because there are some clutch moments where your gold is kind of just ticking to 3 and you really want her in the fight as soon as possible. And the burn damage doesn't hurt either. When we get to that third boss, we gotta have a really frank conversation. All right, moving on to the second stage. Let's go ahead and claim this first time rewards. And what do we got for as far as relics go? Range minis attack 33% faster. Not bad, but we only have the 1 mini. Your squad minis gain stealth. That's kind of cool for our sappers, but ultimately useless on the last stage. Tanks gain a taunt ability. We're going to go with the minis attack fast. None of these are very good, unfortunately. Not for what we need on the final stage. This stage is nothing to scoff at either. Very difficult, but this is why we do have 2 very tanky units, in that Stonehoof Tauren and in the Warsong Raider. So what happens in this map is actually very difficult on our Unbound. Our Unbound get heavily nerfed here because whenever you summon in a unit, it's going to also summon in one of these eyeballs. And if you get touched by this eyeball, you do take a whack load of damage. So it detonates when near an enemy, damaging everything nearby. Beware, playing units attracts more. So when we summon in the Whelplings, it summons in 3 of these. When we summon in the Saplings, it summons in 2 of these. And when you summon in your Kobold, it'll summon one right on top of your Kobold too. So you got to lead some distance. Like I can summon the Kobold right about here, but if I do that, the eyeball will spawn and the Kobold will actually get hit by the eyeball before he even gets 1 gold mine off. So that's going to be a problem. We want to control this summoning stone. We also want to get control over here using a sapper. There's going to be a lot of AoE units here. I believe we're getting some mages here as well as huntresses, so that becomes a problem. The dog does do void breath, so it's a conal attack. We have to be worried about that. And the ultimate goal here is to get 2 tanks on either side of this boss and then spam the unbounds behind, knowing that they're going to die. They will simply die unless we can summon the safe pilot away from safety, and then she will actually path away from the eyeball. That's another option. But the Whelplings here, there's nothing you can really do. The Quailboar you could summon away, but that defeats the purpose of the Quailboar. Also, the Quailboar can kind of tank one of the eyeballs with no problem. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get control of the gold, get that summoning stone, get this tower, hit it with a tank, and then spam it to death. This is probably going to be another match that lasts the full 3 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, so let's get it going here. So you see the Orc Mage right away, and BlueStacks just doing us all the favors by lagging out immediately. So you see the Whelplings, they do immediately die here. They're going to get hit by the eye. Well, we're not going to see it because BlueStacks, but if we did see it, you would know that they immediately died. And the save pilot here will also immediately die because of the eye. There you go. Even if she were to get the kill, she would have still died to it. So we got our Tauren Stonehoof actually made it all the way to the boss and started popping off. That's an incredibly, incredibly strong character. let's deal with this pack of squads right here. The eggs will immediately die. They'll take the damage here. Oh, two of them actually lived. Interesting. Quillboar's going to take the hit. Here we go. Now we get our sappers. Let's go get that tower. And then we can get control of that gold node there. Warsong Raider putting in work. While the Ogre Mage is attacking the tower, let's get some control on him. The Quillboar could take the hit. And is forced to. Let's get our Warsong Raider. Take him out. Now, see, I just made a big mistake. I summoned the Kobold right there. Just from what I'm used to doing. I'm used to positioning that Kobold in such a way he's closest to the mine. So you can see, even though I've done this stage countless times already, I'm still making the rookie mistakes. All right, let's hit the boss with some sappers. Let's go ahead and throw a Torrent in here on this side. Protect our... I did it again. I summoned him too close. You need to summon the kobolds far, far away because the eye will pat, and it does have splash damage. Looks like the tower did get the eye in time, and I was able to save the kobold to at least get one more stack of gold, so we did somewhat good there. But we've done a lot of damage to the boss with that initial push. Let's hit it with some sappers. Let's protect our base from this wolf. Get control of the gold. This is why we wanted this gold nodes in our possession in the first place. And then, yeah, let's not allow the kobold to get the gold here. The whelplings, they're going to do some explosion damage to the boss. That's the best we could hope for. One thing I do really like about Sneed on this deck that doesn't apply to Karen or to Grommash is that whenever this summon stone gets recaptured by the enemy, when we take it back, if we do it with our Warsong Raiders or with our sappers, we're going to get gold for that, right? All right, so proper position if you want to summon gold is out of my control because I already just beat it. You summon at the bottom of the box, in the bottom corner, and the kobold will path away fast enough, and your tower will take that eyeball out, protecting your kobold. Apologies for not showing that properly. In the moment, it's hard to remember all the little details, so don't be discouraged if you're having a hard time with that stage. Get a couple attempts in on it. It becomes muscle memory after a point, and you will push this dungeon very far. Now the super difficult node, or the super difficult stage in the dungeon, but the very rewarding when you get it done right. All right, heading on over to that final stage to get these first time rewards done. Let's see what kind of relic choice we get here. We got deploying an unbound mini grants 1 level to nearby allies. This is actually amazing for this stage. Your melee minis gain lifesteal. Oh, that's really good too. Enemies nearby tower meeting stones are poisoned. No, we don't care about that one. Leeching, poison, and burrowing banner. I think we got to go leeching poison here. We have such a melee heavy deck, and we are about to enter a boxing ring with King Gordok. So King Gordok is strong, but his lieutenants can be persuaded to rise against him. But persuaded, it means we got to beat him up, and then they're going to fight for us. Let's look at the map, and we'll talk about the general strategy to employ for all of your leaders. For the first little bit, you can just muscle it down. Your unbound minis are no longer nerfed by those eyeballs, so we could drop unbound minis on the shaman in the back, we're going to show in a second, and if he dies, then you just spam bomb the boss and it's over. But this shaman right here, the one that's about to phase out, he does some insane healing. So let me go click on him. Heals nearby allies, deals magic damage at range. So this is misleading. He heals nearby allies and himself. So you can't just bomb him down. He will heal back up. You're going to run out of gold before you get him down on the higher difficulties. So we need to hit this guy with an insane army, because no matter which side we come from, the big boss is going to path in front and block, and then you have to use your unbound minis to get to him. But this mage, shaman, whatever we want to call him, he's also going to be just attacking your front line, and he doesn't pop your eggs, unfortunately. So you're down to just your safe pilot and your Quillboar. So what we want to do is we want to get control of the gold on both sides, and we want to whittle down the right side and the left side, pop them at the exact same time. When I say pop them, means these guys have to die at the same time, kind of like the white main node. They have a cooldown where they res, they get all their life back, then they start heading to the fight. We need this mage to hit the right side first and pull the boss away, and then we need this warrior to come in, help us with the shaman. We're going to drop some unbound minis there, and we're going to get it done. It sounds a lot more difficult than it is. Oh, also, we're going to capture this first turret immediately. It sounds more difficult than it is because all we're going to do is we're going to drop Whelplings on the right side and Quailboar safe pilots on the left side until they're very close, and then we're going to send in our beefy tank tunes, and it's gonna work out great. Hopefully, let's go in and let's get it done. First things first, though, let's capture this middle. Unfortunately, we didn't get our rocket guys that I was kind of banking on. They kind of make it a lot easier. Let's look for the enemy kobold. No enemy kobold yet. We'll be using our Quailboar whenever we get the chance there. What did I just do? I accidentally summoned him. That's fine. All right, so let's drop a safety pilot over there. A kobold here to get that gold. We'll do this. And we got to address these units in the middle. We don't want to give up anything here. So you can see we didn't do too much damage to them. Let's go ahead and send you and you in to do some damage there. Let's go get the gold on the left side. This beginning gold is super important. Wait till the Defias guys come in so we can get 2 for the price of 1, taking out those minis and doing damage to the Night Elf. Okay, so he's nice and low. We know it's going to be, it's actually quite easy to get him killed. So now what I want to do is I want to throw in 1 slow unit, 1 fast unit, and hopefully, yeah, the Warsong Raider is pushing my character. I'm going to go ahead and wait till I have a little bit more gold. She's going to die pretty quickly here. As soon as we get the right amount of gold, let's summon these guys in. The Quailboar should be able to take a couple hits. Oh, I summoned the safety pilot way too close. All right. It's over. Okay, it's good. We got him captured. The safety pilot did her job. Let's see if we can't steal this turret out of nowhere. No. Too much going on in the middle. That's okay, though. So you can see we're hitting it from the left and the right side. Normally, we would attack from the middle, which is why I really wanted that base back. So what I need to do is get some gold. We need to get a Quailboar back there. Yeah, see, we kind of derped on this middle. I've never had it get recaptured, but we've never done this high difficulty before. So the problem is, once they recapture the unit, it will charge our base. So it's going to charge either the left side or the middle, and we have to take it down. So it's kind of a ping-pong effect now, back and forth. He's not just going to go park himself in the middle there. And we are kind of dealing with this issue. Luckily, the boss isn't pathing over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to send our Tauren in. Let's drop some whelp eggs in there and a safe pilot for good measure. He's still doing his thing. This is really bad for us, though. Let's try and get that gold. All right, so we got that boss. This boss is just recaptured. We need to get the boss to kind of path away because this isn't really going to work out. We got to take that shaman out in the back. The Stonehoof Tauren does have the benefit that if that shaman is the next closest unit after its initial charge, it'll charge the shaman, which is something we really look forward to. You see, this is the problem because we did get it taken away from us. We are now stuck dealing with it, and it is going to kill our tower before we can address it. And we didn't get the shaman dead on that approach, so we're going to have to redo this one. Let's go ahead and surrender it up, and let's not suck this time. So it does take some coordination. I just didn't time their deaths very well. Noob move. We do have, what, 2 more attempts because we did one-shot the first 2 nodes, so we should be fine. I'm not too concerned about not beating the stage. Obviously, we do have the power for it. All right, let's hit that fight button yet again. Use one of our extra lives. Get hydrated. That always helps. This time, we're not going to lose that middle tower. Losing the middle tower so we couldn't send our forces from the front once we did have them up there attacking, that was really bad. That was really unfortunate. All right, let's skip all the shenanigans. We already talked about the map, so let's get in there. We'll summon a Sneed. We did get a better hand this time. So they're going to go and grab that, and immediately we can start putting in work. We need 5 gold total, which we now have. Let's do one of these. The right side always has 2 gold in it, so you can start over there. And let's see, no enemy kobold yet. We'll keep an eye out for that. We got him nice and low. Let's start with our Sneed. That does give us some room here. Let's summon the drakes over there. Let's get our Tauren in action. I'll throw a safety pilot on the left side. Alright, so that boss is going to drop really quickly. Let's get some gold. Alright, so that boss is dropped, but we got to deal with that ogre mage, so this should actually time out pretty well. And now we're getting some gold. Alright, this is great. So Sneed is actually... And look at that meat. Look at that lifesteal. Oh, that relic was awesome. Oh, no, this is very unfortunate. That Huntress is really not our friend. But we did get the Whelpsman. Okay, it's go time. It's go time. Here we go. Let's get the safety pilot on there ASAP. Our Stone Tauren is actually going to help us. I need to get another tank over there. So what I didn't name about this boss earlier is that the boss does ramp up. It has the Fury trait, so that could be problematic. But look, the mage is taken aback by that right side, so we pulled the aggro really well. And the mage is dead. We still have 1:40, which essentially means we win. But we have such a great army here. We did such a better job timing this that it is just clean, smooth as butter. Let's go! So that will conclude our actual gameplay side of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you push this Dire Maul dungeon with your Horde decks. Sneed is definitely, in my opinion, the best Horde leader for pushing heroics. You can see how that gold just really affects PvE. Grommash might be better PvP, and I use the word might be kind of skeptically, because the gold from Sneed is crazy. Once you become adept at owning the gold objectives, you just own. You do just own. So guys, let me know if this helps you. Let's go ahead and throw that last upgrade on there. So now I have a completed Sneed's army. The next time we do the dungeon, we'll be getting, I think it's 150 gold. Let me know if this helps you. Let me know if you want me to maybe run it back, try using Karen or Grommash and push them a little bit further. I think they each need 2 more levels to be completed. Let's see, Grommash, yeah, he needs 2 more, and yeah, Kane's the exact same level, so of course he does. And then I'll show you that you get some gold here at the end. Let me back out. You can see we get 150 gold. I'm not sure how many times you could redo the dungeon, but getting 150 gold, if this resets every time a new dungeon starts, you're going to want to rush this as fast as possible to expedite your speed in upgrading your minis, getting that collection level up, and just getting more talents, higher leveled minis to tackle things like Onyxia and the coming raids. I'm so excited for the raids. Oh my god. Anyway, we've been ranting. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it helps you. Let me know what you're feeling about Warcraft Rumble in the comment sections below. I literally read every comment, and if you ask a question, I do try and respond. So don't be shy in the comment sections. I love that engagement, and so does the algorithm. Take care, guys. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.